Jay-Z and Shawn Diddy Combs' lawsuit has been dismissed by the Jane Doe's lawyer. Just
breaking news. Jay-Z wins as the shocking lawsuit against him is officially dropped. His autistic Jane Doe, who accused the rap mogul of horrific crimes, has withdrew her case. Nevertheless, by her own lawyer, Tony Busby. But why? What does this mean for Jay-Z? And what are people saying about it? Stay tuned as we break down the details, the reactions, and what's next. Let's get into it.
so you know, aka Tony Busby. Tony Busby has now dismissed this lawsuit. Yes, this is massive. This is absolutely massive. Now, I understand. Jay-Z understandably has been in his feelings. He's been mad. And he's been doing some things that allegedly, that Tony Busby was alleging was illegal. Harassing, giving people a hard time. Not only just Tony Busby, but Tony Busby's family, other people that work in his law firm, and all that stuff. Those allegations are still out there. He put those out there, saying that they were doing illegal stuff, trying to tarnish Tony Busby's name, all because of this specific lawsuit. I just talked about it this morning. Remember, I brought it up in reference to my concerns. I don't know. Maybe I saw something. Maybe I felt something in the earth. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm a clairvoyant. Okay, maybe I could see the future. I don't know what it is, but I even said to you guys before, I was like, I'm concerned about all these lawsuits, about all this information that's coming out. Right? It makes you a little bit concerned because of this very lawsuit that came out, because of this Jane Doe going on to NBC and telling her story and then showing that there were inconsistencies in her actual story. Let's be real. She sat down, she did a full-on heartbreaking, let's be real, no matter what, still a heartbreaking interview. And then throughout that interviewer, okay, that reporter did their due diligence and said, wait a second, the math ain't mathin' here. It's not mathin'. This is not making any sense. Even so, this Jane Doe indeed said, yes, there are inconsistencies to my story, but it's my story and it's the truth. But now, this lawsuit has been dismissed. It has been dropped. It is gone forever. And this is the same lawsuit that was accusing Diddy and Jay-Z of doing something unbelievable. In 2000, at a VMAs after party, where she said that she went to the VMAs, she tried to get into the VMAs, she couldn't get into the VMAs. She met somebody outside, like this chauffeur, this driver outside of the VMAs. This driver said, hey, I can get you to the after party because he likes your kind. He likes your look. He's into you. You know what I mean? He likes them young or whatever he said, right? She says, sure. She jumps into a limo, she says, and drives out to a White House with a U-shaped driveway. She walks into this after party. No mention of any signing any NDAs or anything of that sort that we've heard about with other parties that he's done. She walks in, she sees a bunch of celebrities, and then room, okay? And in this room, Diddy comes in alongside Jay-Z and a female celebrity, which they still have been calling Celebrity B. We still do not know who that celebrity is. And at this point, it don't matter no more. It doesn't. Because now this lawsuit has been dropped. But she accuses Jay-Z and Diddy taking turns viciously attacking her. Remember that. This is what she says. And she says she was a little at that time. She was not of age. She was not an adult when this crime happened. She said she was 13 when this whole thing went down. Now, we already know what Jay-Z was sitting there saying. He was quick to get out here and say, I'm not paying 1 red cent. I'm innocent. I ain't done nothing wrong. This is all BS. How dare you try to come at me with all this stuff? I'm going to fight this tooth and nail because you're not going to get 1 red penny from me. In fact, he even said, well, if I did something so criminal, don't you think you should be throwing me in jail? Shouldn't you be charging me with this crime? Not trying to get my money? He even said that in a statement, okay? And even so, we still are wondering what the hell happened here. Now, I know some of y'all are wondering, some of y'all putting out here, oh, yeah, he paid her off. I don't know. I don't know about all that. All I know is the lawsuit has been dropped. It is gone. Jay-Z now is back into the realm of an innocent man again. Okay? But let's take a look at this article. Again, this is still extremely insane. Okay? All of this is extremely, extremely insane. And, you know, some of us are sitting, some people are out here going, oh, he was innocent. This entire time, this man was innocent, right? And then some others might be like, nah, he ain't innocent. They settled this outside of court. But I feel like that would be information that would be known. That would be known information out here, guys, if there was a settlement. If this was settled, I feel like there would be paperwork showing that there was a settlement made, right? But sure, it's easy. You can sign a check and hand it to the person and go, yeah, just drop the case, man. That's possible too. But anyway, I digress. Let's get into this. So the lawsuit against Shawn Diddy Combs and Jay-Z, remember, it's both of them, not just Jay-Z. It's both Diddy and Jay-Z. Diddy should be rejoicing right now. I'll tell you why in just a second. Okay? Because right now, this is the only lawsuit that Jay-Z is looking at. So he should be very happy. This is a good Valentine's Day for him. Okay? But for Diddy, this could open up a whole can of worms and could be very, very bad for Tony Busby. And we're going to talk about that. I discussed it in this morning's show, but we're going to talk about it again here very shortly. So this lawsuit against those two, okay, over the alleged attack, okay, on this Little in 2000 has been dismissed by the attorney representing Jane Doe, okay, the actual Jane Doe, according to a court filing made Friday in New York. Now, let me show that to you guys. It says right here, shout out to Megan Cuniff, but it says here, this is the Jane Doe plaintiff, blah, blah, blah. It says pursuant to Rule 41A1AI of the Federal Rules of, of the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure, plaintiff Jane Doe, by and through her undersigned counsel, hereby gives notice that the above captioned action is voluntarily dismissed with prejudice. So they can't bring this back up. It cannot be filed ever again. It is gone. It is donezo. Once they dismiss this, once they wrote this out and filed this and the judge has it, they cannot bring this up ever again. So this Jane Doe can't just wait 2 years from now and go, you know what? I just feel like suing him again. Let's go and do it again. Nope. With prejudice. She cannot bring this up ever again. So this story is dead and gone, okay? 6 feet under, gone. Counsel for plaintiff have discussed this matter with counsel for each defendant who acknowledge and consent to this submission. So they all said, okay, sounds about right. I bet. All right, cool. Dismiss this. That sounds good. So it's over. Hova. Okay? It is done. So the voluntary dismissal, so that was the paperwork you just saw. That filing was actually real. All right? The voluntary dismissal reviewed by this article here, the Variety, was filed by attorneys Tony Busby and Tigany Curris, claiming that the Jane Doe who accused the musician of SA, or the musicians of SA, hereby gives notice that the above caption action is voluntarily dismissed with prejudice. Again, she can never bring this up ever again. Now I know some of y'all. Let's take a yeah robot ever forever not never. Okay, it is a wrap. Now, one thing we have to make sure, there are going to be people out here, like some of you guys are saying in the chat, and I totally understand. Some of y'all like, wait, this is too, for him, it's too good to be true. Wait a second, huh? This whole thing's getting dropped? Like it's dropped? Wait, what? Nah, he paid her. He paid her, son. Nah, man, nah, bro. Nah. I'm not believing all that ish. I'm not believing that, man. Nah, man. Well, anything's possible. He may have paid him off. He may not have. But I feel like if he paid her off, that would have been done a long ass time ago, don't you think? Right when this whole thing was dropped? Right when this whole thing was filed? I'm just saying. Why wait this long? If he was going to pay her off, right? And if he did, I'm sorry, then this is a very interesting situation. And I will say this too. I want to say this too. If he did pay her off, then he has to pay him off too, Tony Busby. And it has to be a handsome amount of money. It has to look good, like so good, for Tony Busby to say, I bet I'll take that check too. You want to know why? Because it's Tony Busby's rep on the line right now, guys. We're going to talk about that here in a second. But this is Tony Busby's rep that's on the line. It does not give me the vibe that he paid these guys off. I think something happened. Some truths came out showing that Jay-Z is cleared of this situation, and they kept it moving. But I'm being real. I don't know if he was willing to just be out here and take a massive L in front of the court of public opinion right now. And I'm talking about Tony Busby. This is massive, guys. He can't just suddenly let me take that. Let me take some of that bread real quick. This could potentially ruin and destroy his career too. We're going to talk about it. We're going to circle back and talk about Tony Busby here in a second. All right. But you know for a fact, I got a point here. I got a point. I really think that there's no amount of money, to a certain extent, there's no amount of money in the world that's going to make somebody go, oh, let me tarnish and destroy my entire career for a couple mil. When he also has 120 other lawsuits going after Diddy right now. Shawn Carter, calling this a victory. All right. In his statement, Jay-Z also says this issue caused trauma for his wife and children. Damn right it caused trauma for his wife and children. Let's keep it a bean. This should not be, like I said, should not be a huge surprise for all of us, right? Now, I'm hopping back and forth because there's like his full statement that we are going to look at here. He has a full statement, all right, that I want to share, okay? So let's take a look at this, Shout out to the Neighborhood Talk. But this is his statement, Jay-Z's statement right here. Today's a victory. The frivolous, fictitious, and appalling allegations have been dismissed. The civil suit was without merit and never going anywhere. The fictional tale they created was laughable, if not for the seriousness of the claims. I would not wish this experience on anyone. The trauma that my wife, my children, my loved ones, and I have endured can never be dismissed. Let's continue on. This 1-800 lawyer gets to file a suit hiding behind Jane Doe. And when they quickly realize that the money grab is going to fail, they get to walk away with no repercussions. The system has failed. The court must protect victims, of course, While with the same ethical responsibility, the courts must protect the innocent from being accused without a shred of evidence. May the truth prevail for all victims and those falsely accused equally. Now, does that seem like a statement from someone who paid people off? Let me tell you something. That don't sound like a man that paid people off, baby. That sounds like a man who's still going to go after Tony Busby. Again, he called him a 1-800 lawyer. And then he said the client hiding behind the Jane Doe name, the Jane Doe pseudonym, is absolute BS and clearly a money grab. So again, I don't think he paid anybody off. This is a very bad look for Tony Busby. Very, very bad. I don't think you understand, y'all. This is a bad look. This is a bad look. He did not pay these guys off. He would not say anything right now. He would just stay quiet. He might say, like, today is a victory. You know, this was, you know, traumatic for my kids and my wife. And we you know, and whatever. You know what I mean? He wouldn't be going after saying anything about Tony Busby, saying some things. Because if it was an agreement, I feel like he would be sending something to the lawyers, being like, now, you know, Tony Busby sending to something to Jay-Z's lawyers going, now, come on now. Now, come on, man. He called me a 1-800 lawyer again, man. Come on now. That ain't fair, man. We dropped the whole thing, bruh. You know what I mean? That's not the case here. Tony Busby's not getting paid. He most definitely not getting paid. Let's continue on. So Alex Spiro, I'm sorry, and I've heard Spiro, however you say it, okay? He's even spoken out as well. He says in a statement, he says, the false case against Jay-Z that never should have been brought has been dismissed with prejudice. By standing up in the face of heinous and false allegations, Jay has done what few can. He pushed back. He never settled. He never paid one red penny. I'll repeat that too again. He never paid one red penny. He triumphed and cleared his name. Yeah. And that's coming from his own lawyer as well. So, again, it's a major legal development. Attorney Tony Busby has officially dropped the R lawsuit filed against hip-hop mogul Jay-Z. The case, which Jay-Z and his legal team vehemently denied from the start, has now been dismissed with prejudice, meaning it cannot be refiled. Jay-Z issued a powerful statement following the dismissal, calling the allegations frivolous, fictitious, and appalling. He condemned the system that allows lawsuits to be filed anonymously with little to no evidence, stating this 1-800 lawyer gets to file a suit hiding behind Jane Doe. And when they quickly realize the money grab is going to fail, they get to walk away with no repercussions. The system has failed. And of course, his attorney spoke out. The lawsuit has been a subject of widespread discussion, with many questioning the credibility of the allegations. Jay-Z, known for his business empire and musical influence, maintained his innocence throughout, refusing to be pressured into a settlement. Now that the case is dismissed, Jay-Z has not only won in court, but also reignited discussions about the balance between protecting real victims and preventing false accusations from damaging reputations. And that's a good point right there. That's a good point, because again, there's going to be more and more people that are going to be stepping forward, going after Diddy for right now, because Jay-Z is in the clear right now. He's in the clear for now. Okay. But there is a question. Okay. There is a question on what happens to those people who are filing false lawsuits, putting out false allegations and all that. That's the thing. He's got a point there. The people that step forward and say, oh, Diddy did this to me, he did this, this, and this, okay? It is so easy for them to just say it and then go, ooh, it's not going to work. And then they dipset. They disappear. No repercussions, no legal. They never get chastised legally for what they're doing, for what they've said or what they've put out there. Because no matter what, it's a wrap now. You got to remember, it's a wrap now for Jay-Z's brand has been tarnished now. Doesn't even matter. Doesn't even matter if Jay-Z is found, was found like that this was false claims and none of this, all of this was unfounded, right? Still, no matter what, people are going to still remember this. At some point, everybody's going to go, damn. Don't you remember? He was accused of that thing. Even so, some of you guys in the chat right now are sitting here going, nah, he paid her off. He paid that lawyer off. He did this, this, and this. What if he didn't, guys? See, this is the sad part, because now it's forever branded to his back. It is branded to his body. He still has to live through this forever. Doesn't matter. Because there's still going to be people that are going to believe what they want to believe. And that's the sad part about it, which I understand. It's understandable that people are going to want to believe the victims instantly, of course. But you would think and believe or hope that when the allegations are put out here, when those allegations are made, they're true. That's what you hope for. Okay? Now, again, with all the other allegations that are out here about him, that's the thing. As soon as he got hit with those allegations, more of the old rumors came back. And I don't blame those rumors coming back and those speculations and those questions coming back. In fact, I still wonder about the son, the alleged illegitimate son. I'm still curious about that. Is that really his son or not? It doesn't, just because he wasn't at this scene of this crime or was not even a part of this, or that this whole thing was a fabrication, does not mean that he's not out here doing bad things too, right? It doesn't exonerate him completely. But at the same time, the fact that this even came out now is still stuck to his body for the rest of his life. There will still be at least a tiny percentage of the world that are going to believe that he is an actual monster. Even when he's been exonerated, the whole case has been to say, and pay now one red penny, and you going after my man? That's what he basically said. That's what Alex Spiro said. All right, he said, you keep your hands off my man Jay-Z. Okay, we're gonna move on though. Representatives for Busby did not immediately return Variety's request for comment. Jane Doe initially filed the lawsuit against Combs in October, adding Jay-Z's name to the suit 2 months later. She alleged that Combs and Jay-Z both attacked her viciously, okay, at this VMA's after party. He was quick. Jay-Z was very quick to blast the claims, stating that his lawyer was sent blackmail in an effort to pressure him into settling outside of court. He said it had the opposite effect and instead inflamed him to expose his accuser for the fraud they are in a very public fashion. And of course, we've already seen that. We're all seeing that in 4K now, aren't we? So what ensued was a blitz of court filings and a public back and forth between Jay-Z, Roc Nation, and Busby. In December, the Jane Doe gave an interview that damaged her credibility as she claimed that, quote unquote, not all facts are clear in her recollection of the night's events, and said that I have made some mistakes. I may have made a mistake in identifying. Okay. Later that month, a judge decided that she could proceed anonymously in the lawsuit against the rappers. Last month, Jay-Z filed a motion to dismiss the ongoing lawsuit after securing permissions from the U.S. District Judge Torres. The request claimed that there were a series of inconsistencies in this particular Jane Doe's account. While the case against Jay-Z has been dismissed, Combs faces dozens of lawsuits that have been filed over the past year. He has been in prison, which we already know about. Now, again, this is some crazy stuff. In fact, I may go back and look at I may go back and play I'm just looking up the Jane Doe. Now it's a wrap. And we're going to talk about Tony Busby here in a second, but just a quick trip down memory lane. I'm not playing the whole doggone thing because trust me.
And be a voice for yourself. You should never let what somebody else did run your life.
A 38-year-old mother from Alabama who has filed a lawsuit accusing Shawn Diddy Combs and Jay-Z of raping her when she was 13 years old is speaking out to NBC News for the first time. She asked us not to reveal her identity.
What made you want to come forward and talk today?
Because I think that I've been quiet long enough about what I've been through, and it's been hard enough to be quiet. But it's a chapter of my life that I'd like to close.
Okay. Now, we've all seen this, okay? We've all seen this interview, okay? So we're just taking a little trip down memory lane as a reminder of what we saw. But all of this was extremely questionable. We all know that. And I know some people out there were like, no, I believe her. I believe her, okay? But I'm telling you right now, something was off. Something was weird. Even on this one.
Shatterproof juggle ball. The world's on fire. The fire is inside the ball with you, but there's no way for you to get out.
In addition to having autism, the woman says she suffered a head injury. The night of the 2000s VMAs, she says
let's not forget that too. She suffered a head injury as well. Not only does she have autism, but she also has a head injury as well. Okay. And I know that there's been a lot of people out here that were defending her because of her, because of her having autism and all that. And yes, those things are real things, but at the same time, and those things should be put in consideration, but at the same time, this whole thing's been dropped. And what I want to know is why? Why was this dropped? Why was this doggone thing dropped? Someone make that make sense, right?
a friend drove her from Rochester, New York to Manhattan, a more than 5-hour drive. Her attorney provided NBC News with the name of the friend who has since died. The woman says she spoke to Combs's limo driver who offered her a ride to an after party.
I stumbled upon Diddy's driver who told me that I was exactly what Diddy was looking for.
What did you think when he said that to you?
I thought it meant that I was just pretty.
She went to a White House.
Okay. First off, she drove all the way down there. She took a ride with a friend who happens to no longer exist anymore. They passed on. They drove all the way down. There was many hours to get down there, right? Several hours or, hours to get down there. She goes down there. She doesn't go into the actual event. She talks to a limo driver. This limo driver takes her out to this party. Then she meets people from Good Charlotte. Again, like it's just okay. Let's continue.
Says where she spoke to musicians Benji Madden and his brother.
I'm talking to Benji Madden about his tattoo because, I have about his tattoo that's the Last Supper because I have a religious background. So it was just something to talk about.
In a statement to NBC News, a representative of the Maddens confirmed that they did not attend the 2000 VMAs.
And that's a big problem too. They were not there. They met with the VMAs. They met the girl at this after party, Good Charlotte. They say, hey, we never met her. We don't know her. We weren't there. We were on tour during this time.
That they were on tour in the Midwest at the time. At the after party, she says she had a drink that made her feel woozy. Then she says Combs and Carter took turns raping her while a female celebrity watched.
JC.
Okay. Then she goes into this party. She drinks something, makes her woozy and lightheaded. Then she walks into this room, and then she gets viciously attacked by Jay-Z and Diddy while a female celebrity B, is in the corner or out there in audience watching this whole thing go down. Again, there's information that just doesn't equate, right? Just doesn't equate. Now, again, whether or not Ebony Queen, thank you so much for the comment. Whether or not they are, you believe or you think that they are not a credible source, they still were able to poke holes in her story and say this is not consistent and doesn't make sense. Then on top of it, more important than anything else, is that this lawsuit got dropped. That's a massive big deal. Regardless if, NBC, if you believe NBC to be credible source or not. I mean, I don't think there's any, I feel like, it's every, 1 second I can say, oh, it was on Fox News, and there's going to be one side of the world saying that it's not credible. I could say CNN, not credible. I could say News Nation, somebody out there going to be like, not credible. CBS, ABC, it's going to be like, you know what I mean? There's always going to be something that someone's going to say, oh, well, they're not credible. But this lawsuit got dropped. That's massively important. Doesn't matter if NBC is credible or not. They had the interview. They asked her questions, and her response was, yeah, there are inconsistencies to my story, but it happened to me. Is that 100%? You know what I mean? Especially when it gets dropped, I know there are going to be people that are going to believe that this is a settlement. And honestly, I don't see it as such. I don't. I really don't. I don't think this woman was telling the truth. I really don't. I just don't.
He comes in and rapes me. He at that point I was fighting, trying to get away from him, and he put his hand over my mouth and told me to stop it, cut the.
After the alleged rape, she says she ran to a gas station where she called her father, who picked her up and drove her home.
We wrote where I was.
In an interview with NBC News, her father said he could.
And I'm telling you right now, I'm going to roll that back just a tiny bit, but I'm telling you right now, this was the moment that I said, I don't know. When we first watched it, this is the moment where I started leaning back and saying, what is this part right here?
What I did or where I was.
In an interview with NBC News, her father said he could not verify the claims. Quote, I felt like I would remember that, and I don't. I have a lot going on, but I mean, that's something that would definitely stick in my mind, he said. When we asked the woman about the contradictions in a phone interview on Friday.
Hold on, I'm rolling that back. Let me
NBC News, her father said he could not verify the claims. Quote, I felt like I would remember that, and I don't. I have a lot going on, but I mean, that's something that would definitely stick in my mind, he said.
Now, again, this is the moment for me that was big, okay? Massively big to me. You mean to tell me your own daddy, who went and picked you up, drove hours out of his way in the middle of the night to go and pick you up and then drive hours back to their home in upstate New York or upstate New York? One, you didn't have a conversation with him at all. He didn't talk to you about it at all, about why you snuck out of the home. Then on top of it, when they ask him about the story, and sure, it's 24 years ago at the time when they, the taping of this interview. You mean to tell me the dad don't remember anything? I'm telling you right now, if my daughter was autistic, if this was, a daughter or a child of mine that was autistic, that was snuck out of my house, then I was looking for her, scared out of my mind. She was hours away in New York City, had to drive out and pick her up. I'm going to remember that till the day I die. I even said that joke back in the day. I'm like, man, that'd be the story I'd be telling at her wedding. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, there was one time I was scared out my mind. She just up and left. That's the kind of rebel my daughter was. You know what I mean? Or whatever. You know what I mean? You're going to remember that story. You're telling me daddy don't know and don't remember that story? That seems weird. You would remember this, guys. You would. Because this is the moment that you'd be like, did someone take my child? You'd be scared out your damn mind, right? So again, when you hear something like that, to me at least, that was the ultimate, that was big, in my personal opinion, okay? You're driving 5 hours? Okay, back and forth, a 10-hour round trip to go get your daughter that snuck out of your home. She has autism. She's a little, and she's out there in the middle of nowhere in New York, and you're picking her up. And that's normal. You're not going to remember that? That was just a Tuesday. Now, I understand some people are like, well, daddy could have been a jerk. Well, dad could have been a jerk, but you're telling me he's not going to remember this? I'm sorry. That's big. I'd be livid in that car for 5 hours. Livid. She would not stop hearing me saying how much she messed up and how grounded she was and all that stuff. You know what I mean? Trust and believe. She would know that she just messed up royally, right? But moving on, let's continue.
When we asked the woman about the contradictions in a phone interview on Friday, she said that she stands by her statements. I have made some mistakes, she said. Honestly, what is the clearest is what happened to me. The inconsistencies in her account of an incident alleged to have happened 24 years ago does not necessarily mean the allegations are false. The accuser's attorney, Tony Busby, said, because we have interrogated her intensely, she has even agreed to submit to a polygraph. This has been extremely distressing for her, to the point she has experienced seizures and had to seek medical treatment due to the stress.
Okay, so let's talk about this. Here's a big problem I see. Because something like this is a very, very bad look for Tony Busby. Okay, I said that we were going to talk about Tony Busby, and here we are. We need to talk about Tony Busby. All right. This is not good. Long story short, this is not the moment that we need for any of these victims, period. Because now the court of public opinion, especially, this is a big win. Like I said before, massive win for Jay-Z. Now this could potentially, and Diddy, let's not forget that too. This is a big win for Diddy too, because Diddy's involved in this situation as well. And this whole case has been dropped. So he's not looking at that one either. He's not looking at any repercussions of this at all as well. This whole lawsuit has been dropped. So now this is a massive problem, because instantly everyone's going to be looking at like, oh no, that's terrible. But Tony Busby, why would you do that? Instantly. Everyone's doing that now, even myself. Why would you represent this client? Why would you go and spearhead for this client if you did not have her properly vetted? And I've been saying that on the 120 lawsuits that he's dropping like it's hot, okay? He's dropping them like left and right every other day now, okay? So it does make you wonder, what is his vetting process? How's he able to filter through the people who are lying and the people who are actually telling the truth? That's a massive problem. Now that he just had this particular lawsuit drop, again, this destroys his reputation. And again, yes, Monique, I was just about to say that. Destroys his credibility as a lawyer representing any potential clients here. Now, this could also be something that's big. This could be the first domino, because all these other clients, maybe this filters out all the BSers, all the people that are lying and trying to finesse, trying to make a quick buck from Diddy. Maybe this will be the situation where they're like, oh, damn, that one failed. I'm out, guys. Yeah, I'm a liar. I lied. It was a full bold-faced lie. I'm out. Yeah, I got to go. Peace. Deuces. You know what I mean? That's possible. But that's only good for Diddy, right? That's not good for real victims out here. Because as soon as somebody files against Diddy, or say Jay-Z gets thrown in another one again. And what if that person is actually telling the truth? Instantly, everyone's doing this now. Oh, another lawsuit? Oh. Okay, Dan. Let's read this one and see what this one's all about. Oh, really? That's what he did to you too? You know what I mean? That's unfortunate now, because now we got this situation. At least anything that's coming from Tony Busby, now everybody's going to be side-eyeing the hell out of this mess and going, is it for real? Is this lawsuit really telling the truth? Let's not forget, you got Ariel Mitchell Kidd. You got a bunch of other lawyers that are fronting and spearheading other lawsuits. There's the other ones of people, running around and pew-pews going off and all that stuff. And you know what I mean? Some very, very devastating, if true, devastating accounts and allegations of what these people went through. But now, when you have something like this that drops out of the sky like this, and they say with prejudice. So in other words, again, we will never see or hear about this ever again. It's disheartening because, again, there's a lot of people that want to be believed, that need to be believed. And now that's been tarnished. Has it been nuked to kingdom come? No, I won't say that. But it's been tarnished pretty bad. And now all these people, all these other people who are stepping forward and trying to have the bravery to step forward, all of them are going to be hesitating to step forward, especially if they're being represented by Tony Busby. You don't understand how big of a deal it is that he filed to dismiss this very specific lawsuit. This one was out here for everyone to see. This was a high-profile lawsuit, and now that lawsuit is gone. And now it's a high-profile dismissal of a lawsuit. You understand, this is huge. This is huge for Diddy as well as it is huge for Jay-Z. And this is extremely detrimental and bad for Tony Busby. So again, this is some crazy stuff, y'all. And I know some people are like, yeah, he got paid. He got paid off, or they got paid off. There was a settlement. Man, if there was a settlement, there would be no statement like that whatsoever. There would just be the settlement and the paperwork saying that they dismissed the case. That's it. We would not hear him say, oh, he's a 1-800 lawyer and all that. No. Watch on Monday. Well, not Monday because Monday's President's Day, but watch Tuesday. Jay-Z push even further on trying to take Tony Busby out. Trust me. You think Jay-Z's done? Oh, you think this is a game? You think Jay-Z is done with Tony Busby? Oh, hell no, he ain't. He's going to be like, no. He's going to go after him even more. He's going to say defamation. He's going to say all this other stuff. He's going to keep with the lawsuit that's still out there, saying that this is extortion, etc. This is, well, actually, sorry, my bad. They did drop that, but he might refile because remember, they said they dismissed that lawsuit without prejudice. Uh-oh. Without prejudice. Why did they say without prejudice? Because they knew for a fact that he was innocent. They knew for a fact it was going to get dropped at some point, and they still want to refile and take Tony Busby down. There you have it, y'all. That's the reason why. At first, we're like, what's going on? Why did they do that? Why did they drop? Why did they drop that? Something else is going on. Something big is going on. Maybe they realize that Jay-Z is not innocent. Maybe they realize he is a bad guy. He shouldn't have done what he did, so on and so forth, right? Maybe Jay-Z is the criminal that they say that he is. We never thought about the other side, saying, oh, interesting. Maybe he's doing that because he knows that this lawsuit's going to get dropped and he going to resue. He going to refile and sue that ass all over again. Wow. Like I said, this is going to be crazy when this whole thing goes down. Okay, man, but get ready. Y'all say, oh, this was a settlement. I challenge that and say, hell no, that was not at all a settlement at all. I truly believe that she may have fessed up. Maybe she said this is all not true, or maybe Tony Busby did more due diligence, did more research, found out that all this stuff was wrong and not true. Maybe that's what the case is. I don't know. But there was no settlement here, guys. Sorry, hold on. I'm trying to fix something. Hold on one second. Sorry. Oh, my God. So, again, what say you guys? First off, Mimi, thank you so much for the super sticker. I really do appreciate it. Absolutely. The lie detector test probably didn't go so well. Yep. Exactly. They probably went through all that stuff and they're like, wait a second. So it's not, nope. There's something that's not working here. Damn. We gotta drop this, guys. It's unfortunate, but we're gonna have to dismiss this. Okay, we have to dismiss this. But so again, he's going out of his way to expose Tony Busby's alleged attempts to get large sum of money from him over two different allegations. Two different allegations. One of which just got dismissed. The other never even ended up in court. Wow. According to docs filed, Jay-Z filed this week and obtained by TMZ, Busby sent 2 demand letters to Jay-Z in November 2024. One of them was over the Jane Doe who accused, which the one that we just knew about, okay, when she was 13 years old. The other was from a John Doe who, according to the letter, claimed Jay SA'd him at a 2015 Beverly Hills party when he was only 16 and had been secretly plied with substances by someone other than Jay. Now, Jay calls both allegations false and ridiculous in every respect, as we reported the Jane Doe accuser, a large victory for Jay and Diddy. This John Doe allegation we had not previously heard about, and Jay says Busby's letters for both clients demanded something of substance to address the situation, which Jay interpreted as a demand for a lot of money to buy their silence. I mean, clearly it was about money. Clearly. It was like, let's get together. Later, he threat to my reputation, my career, my family, and everything else I have spent my life achieving. Although his Jane Doe accusers now dismissed her lawsuit, Busby doesn't sound like he's backing down in the war with Jay-Z, telling us we expect that lawsuit, which is frivolous, to be